With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
We are now 90 minutes away from the kickoff of the Fiesta Bowl. Penn State takes on Boise State, and Pauly, the money keeps coming in on Penn State at one national book. They're up to 13-point favorites here against Boise. And friend of the show, been coming on for a long time, does a superb job covering this sport. Pat Forty joins the program now, who is live in Phoenix at the Fiesta Bowl. He's on the Progressive guest line. Happy New Year, Pat. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, Happy New Year to you guys. Happy quarterfinal weekend of college football.
Yep, back at you. You wrote about this in your latest column, Sports Illustrated. It was dynamite. We talked about it before the break. So you were live watching Boise State in that unbelievable finish against Oklahoma 18 years ago. You did something for the only time in your career at the end of that game. What was it?
I stood up and screamed in the press box, which is a definite no-no. You're supposed to no cheering in the press box, professional decorum. And when they ran the Statue of Liberty play for the win, I stood up and I just spread my arms out and I said, Statue of Liberty! They ran the Statue of Liberty! I mean, I'm not sure anybody even noticed because everybody was kind of like losing their minds at that point.
Yes, but with the hook and ladder, the fourth down running back pass, halfback option, and then you cap it off with that in a 15-minute stretch, it's total bedlam.
Yeah, and if any one of those plays doesn't work, they lose. They had to make them all work.
Yes.
3 of them, do or die plays. It was the most crazy, gutsy, Madden backyard football play calling that worked I've ever seen. It was unbelievable.
I said earlier on the show, Chris Peterson will have a piece of my heart forever for calling those plays, but also the execution. It looks like they practice it like every single day leading up to that game.
Yeah, and it was really funny. Actually, I went back and read the column I wrote that night, and they said they practiced the hook and ladder play every day and almost never worked. They never got it right in practice. Yeah. And then they run it in the game, and it's like clockwork.
Yeah.
50-yard play for the touchdown.
Yeah. So, again, why the column's so good as well, they've been waiting for this moment. And it's so frustrating as a fan. So many great teams, the Kellen Moore teams, going undefeated, could never get their opportunity. And now do you feel like they're going to live up to the moment, show off tonight, and that they're also playing for every little guy out there?
Yeah, there's a lot riding with them. There really is. And that's, for Boise State fans who have had great teams that couldn't get a shot at this, for, every really good team we've had in the Mountain West, in the MAC, in the Sun Belt, that wanted their shot and never got it. This is it. And so they're carrying the banner for a lot of people here. And I think they're happy to do it. I think they're proud to do it. We'll see how it works out. I mean, they're a deserving underdog, but that spread really, that kind of catches my eye, how big that has gotten. But yeah, there is a lot riding on Boise's performance here tonight.
Yeah, that was going to be the natural follow-up here. I mean, evidently it's not going to stop. 90 minutes before kickoff now. When we came on the air, Pat, it was 11 and a half. Now 13. Are you intrigued? Based on what you just said, I'm guessing you are, but are you intrigued by grabbing 13 with Boise?
I am, yeah. I mean, at 10, I was like 10 and a half, 11. I was like, oh, it's close. I could go either way. At 13, that's more reason, I think, to go with the underdog here. I think the big area for them, Mitch, is their pass defense has got to hold up. Defense in general. The Penn State offense has gotten better as the season's gone along. Mm-hmm. They have great balance. They can run it. They can throw it. They have the best tight end in the country. And so Boise has to not just get overwhelmed defensively. But I think offensively, they've got a chance to do some things. Ashton Genty's run on everyone this year, and I think he's going to have the ability to run. He may not run wild, but I think he'll be able to run well enough to set up some pass plays. And And, I think that they've certainly got a chance to be in this game, and a fast start could be critical. They got off to a fast start in 2007 against Oklahoma.
Right.
And I thought shifted the game pressure in that one, and I think shift the pressure to Penn State, which has not performed well in big games, and see what happens.
Madsen has got to take care of the ball. He's got a good tight end. And certainly, Pat, SMU moved the ball. Then Jennings just lost his mind. So if I can exploit, with the play action and take some shots with the wide receivers, knowing that they're going to respect Genty, do you think Madsen can make enough plays here? And if he has it in him?
Yeah, we'll see. He's unflappable. He is not a large human. He is very small by the standards we're used to looking at, like prototype quarterbacks. But he has that, that moxie, that toughness that, he's been undersized and counted out his whole career. So this is nothing new here, but he's a super smart player, like reads, decisions, those kind of things, he excels at, and he's accurate too. So I think he's got a chance to, if they can find some weaknesses in the defense or some holes, he can exploit them.
What was the reaction to what Franklin told you that Saban should be the commissioner of college football?
It's really interesting. That kind of has gotten a lot of momentum here the last couple of days. Everybody's talking about it at the other bowl games too, and I think it's hilarious. This is classic college football, though. There's 8 different prominent coaches saying, "Yeah, we need a commissioner. It should be Nick Saban or maybe Chris Peterson or Dave Clawson." What's the commissioner going to do? Who's in charge? Who appoints the commissioner? Who's he in charge of? Is he going to go to court and fight the lawsuits that have stripped the NCAA of powers? Is he going to go to Congress and lobby? Like, it's a nice idea, but what exactly would the commissioner do?
I wonder, would he oversee the NIL rules that might exist at some point? Would that be part of it?
Maybe, but and this is one of those areas where, I like the idea, and I think the coaches would like the idea of having somebody that's been in their shoes, having input there.
Sure.
But coaches look for simple solutions to complex problems. There's we need to fix this. Okay, well, how do you fix it? I will say that the people like the Greg Sankeys and the Tony Petitis and of the world, while I may disagree with them on a lot of things, it's not like they don't understand the issues. It's just that solving them is really hard. And so having Nick Saban come in and say, well, let's just do this and this, I'm not sure it's going to solve anything.
Okay. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Pat Forty, he is live in Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl kicking off in about an hour and 25 minutes. And Penn State again favored by 13 at some spots now over Boise. What would your biggest concern be here for Penn State? Would it be maybe some shaky quarterback play? Would it be if Genty does get rolling early in this game and they can't stop him and it is a game from Jump Street? Or would it be James Franklin maybe in big games?
Maybe a little all of the above. I think that a quick start definitely shifts the pressure. And yes, if Genty gets going and they can have balanced attack and they can shrink the game, shorter game, fewer possessions, then yes, that puts more pressure on Aller to make plays. And while he's super talented and has made a lot of good ones, I think he's also had some games where the moment looked a little bit too big for him. And so you combine that with the moment occasionally looking too big for James Franklin, and the longer this is a game, I think the more the pressure mounts on Penn State. So if you're Boise, you want the fast start and you want Genty going and you want few possessions, I would say.
Listening to your podcast, always do a great job, College Football Inquirer, with Wetzel and Ross. You picked Notre Dame. Do you feel better about that pick based on what's happened with the SEC here?
Yeah, I feel good about it regardless. And no disrespect to Georgia, but I just think the quarterback injury is going to be a large factor simply because Georgia's been a bad running team this year. They can't run the ball. And so they've had to have Carson Beck throw it 35 times a game, way more than Kirby Smart's teams are used to doing. And now you're going to have Gunnar Stockton do it. And he's played one half of meaningful football. And he made some good plays, but he also made a mistake that nearly cost him the game with the interception.
Yes.
So there's a lot on his shoulders very quickly, and you're playing against the best pass defense in the country. So I think this sets up well for Notre Dame. They just need to not get overwhelmed, their offensive line and their offense, by the Georgia defense, which I think is probably going to be as healthy as they've been in a long time.
Who do you like in the Rose Bowl?
I like Oregon. I've stuck with them all year, or I shouldn't say it, all playoff, and really going back to once they beat Ohio State, I thought they were emerging as the team to beat. And so, I'm not gonna bail on that thought now. But if Ohio State plays the way it did against Tennessee, well, then we might be seeing the best team out there.
Yeah.
But I think Oregon's certainly got the firepower to go toe-to-toe with them if it turns into a shootout.
Do you give ASU a puncher's chance?
Yeah, I think, probably similar to a degree to Boise and Penn State, where you've got an elite running back, elite running game, and if you can get it established, if you can shrink the game, if you can start well, everything shifts into pressure on Texas. And Quinn Ewers is another guy who sometimes plays really well, but sometimes makes critical mistakes. And you put him in a pressure situation. If you can slow down the Texas running game, which was awesome against Clemson, I think that's one of those situations where the longer it's a game, the bigger the chances are for ASU. It's certainly to cover and maybe to just flat out steal one.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Pat, that was great, especially live from the stadium like that. Thanks so much for your time as always. You're the best, and Happy New Year, okay?
Hey, my pleasure, guys. Enjoy the games.
Follow him on
Thank
X.
you.
He's at ByPat40. Read him at Sports Illustrated and the College Football Inquirer as well. Great podcast.
Great article today. So good.
What do you think about that number 13 right now?
It's getting out of control. And also, based on the history, they have been, you go back 18 years, this team has been awesome in big games. Awesome. This program has been unbelievable in big games against the big boys. Beat Tyrod Taylor. Beat Aaron Murray. Beat Oregon, the punch with LeGarrette Blount. Beat them twice, I think, back-to-back years. Beat Oklahoma. Beat TCU. Beat Arizona. Other than going to Athens one year with Zabransky, and he lost his mind. They got blown out in that game. This program has been great in big games.
We are moving in-pocket plays up next. Wemby is in action tonight, and another player is on a 19-2 under run.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, 3-0 last night. I couldn't believe the price with Gibbs.
How good is that kid?
25.5 receiving yards? Come on, he's awesome.
This team has drafted so well over the last, 4 or 5 years? It's insane.
Yep. Murray under points, winner. He's on like a 15-2 under run. Check out the prop analyzer every day at vsin.com. No matter the sport, check it out every day. Put me on 2 winners. Paul George under 2.5 threes. He didn't make one. That's like a 14-2 under run as well. Didn't make one. We continue. Broncos laying 10 against the Chiefs. I do think they open up a can and take out Kansas City in the backups. Anti-ACC here. Well, they finally got a win, a cover rather, with Louisville. Minnesota laying 7.5. A ton of guys out for Vatek. This is moved. Jets, Dolphins under 41. That's the pending. And then the new. Grizzlies, Suns over. 235.5. These games that Memphis have been Memphis is playing insane basketball, what they've done. The Suns have let me down in a couple spots here. They did play a high-scoring game against Detroit, but, they gave up 100. This is Memphis. They gave up 130 to OKC. They played a 132-124 against New Orleans. They played a 155-126 against Toronto, a 128-112. They scored a $144 against Golden State, 135 against Brooklyn, 140 against Washington. They beat Boston on the road and scored 127. I'm going to go over in that game and right back to it. Did you see he was out in the park playing chess with people?
Of course.
How good was that? Wembanyama, right? I'm going to go over 3.5 made threes tonight, plus 105. The 2.5 now is significant juice because school's out, but it's still, he is bombs away. And he hit 3 the other night. You got the push, but right back in it against a good Clipper team. but on a tough spot with a back-to-back. Wemby to go over 3.5 made threes tonight. Go get it.
I'll expand on that. His points prop is 25.5. So he has made 4+ threes in 11 out of his last 17 games. He is averaging more than 10 three-point attempts per game since Halloween.
Yes.
And when they played the Clippers on November 4th, he had 24 points. But by the way, he's the only player that I can recall ever looking at a box score and I see double digits and I don't know what stat it is. It could be any of them. You know what? I never did that with Magic. I never did it with Westbrook because there was 3 things with them. This guy, it might be blocks, it might be steals.
DraftKings has a prop up tonight. Will he go 5-5-5-5-5? It's 55-1. But that guy can't rule anything out. That's got to be 5 steals and 5 blocks, but that's...
Right.
You're right. This guy can get the quadruple double.
So to my point, the first time they played the Clippers November 4th, he had 24 points, 13 boards, 9 blocks. I assumed it was assists.
Yeah.
Silly me. It was 9 blocks,
Yeah.
3 steals, and he made 2 threes in that game. His stocks tonight, 4.5.
What?
Yep. It's 3.5. I think that's standard. I think it's 3.5 blocks tonight that he's going to have. That's the problem. So I've not bet his threes yet, but
Seems
I might
low.
before the end of the show.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to cut back on my futures, right? Knicks to win the Atlantic plus 350. Now, I know the Celtics were awesome today. They beat the Raptors by like 40. But they lost 4 games this month, and I don't think, now that we have like 2 months of basketball here.
I love this Knicks team.
I don't think the Celtics care about the regular season.
Yeah. This Knicks team's dynamite offensively.
They're unstoppable offensively, and the Celtics have had some really bad losses.
Yes.
Like in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And this was a loser earlier today. Tatum over 9.5. He only played like 20-plus minutes because it was such a bloodbath against Toronto. So that goes down as a Lahu Zahir. The new place, along with the Knicks, to win the Atlantic. Oh, okay. Illinois plus 9 was another play. And all the picks are up on the picks page at vsin.com.
What's going on in the game?
They lead 21-17. South Carolina just got stopped on 4th down.
All right.
So Illinois ball back right now.
41-24 LSU. 14 minutes left.
Yeah.
Take VSiN with you wherever you go. Watch the VSiN Watch app. Never been easier to stay connected to the action, whether you're on the phone, tablet, or the smart TV. Absolutely free for a limited time. The VSiN Watch app replays your favorite shows, 24/7 live access to the audio and video streams, the ability to stream directly to your smart TV for the big screen experience, quick access to clips by sport, and a search feature will let you find exactly the insights you're looking for. Don't miss out. Get the VSiN Watch app. Stay in the game wherever you are.
We're talking about sports betting resolutions starting tomorrow, New Year's Day. This is from Get the Money Racing on X. Keep good records. Track your bets and analyze your results. A lot of obviously most pros, if not all of them, do that. And he says it will tell you where you are strong and where you are weak. I do a yearly review after every horse racing season. It's amazing what you find. That's a terrific idea.
I like Charles in Connecticut, and this is real. And I'm not patting myself on the back. Find a way to listen to Follow the Money more. It's hard to listen sometimes with the new schedule and the holidays, but my bankroll has benefited. We've made a lot of people a lot of money. And the information on the show was unbelievable. And it goes back to the first time we met Indy Jeff Seeley. And he said, thank you. And I said, for what? Because the first period stuff in hockey paid for a new car.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the New York Islanders. That was before the Blackhawks and the Lightning. That was one year that the New York Islanders were on an insane overrun.
That was like 2018 or something like that, maybe.
It's just incredible stuff here. And also get up to vsin.com every day.
You have plans for tonight?
Yeah, well, watch the game. Girls out of town, though, but...
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, no. I'll go maybe check in with my friend at his bar, but hang out with him. But that's nothing crazy, nothing out late, no.
What do you make of this idea?
I catch a big break, too. Jordan is not bothered by fireworks.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. What do you think of this idea? So my mom's in town.
Hey, Kate.
And so Lorraine, my wife, her friend has an annual party on New Year's Eve, but they do it specifically around when the ball drops on the East Coast. So the coverage is on. It's 9 o'clock. Hey, Happy New Year on the East Coast. And then they're like, get out of our house. It's time for you to leave.
Uh-huh.
So I think from what I gather, it ends like around 9:15. So we're all invited. A bunch of people show up. I'm kind of on board with this idea because I haven't cared about New Year's Eve since I was probably in my 20s. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with Las Vegas. I don't want to deal with the Strip. No, thank you.
I had fun here a couple years ago. I think you were with her. Sean and I, whenever we went up at the Legacy Club, saw all the fireworks and Reagan.
I would much rather be downtown.
Yes.
100%.
If you can get in a spot like the Legacy Club
then
here,
now we're talking. Yeah, for
right.
sure.
That's
I just don't want to. They shut down the Strip. There's no traffic.
You get the kiss at midnight. Yeah.
Like 400,000 people on the Strip.
Oh, I don't. Come on.
I can't. There's no way.
I don't get it. I don't understand that. I don't understand the Times Square stuff. What? I don't know.
You know when
the worst part is the calendar says I have to, and I don't drink much.
Time to get in shape.
Yeah. Well, no, not that. But that's funny. But I have to get drunk. It says I have to be amateur and I have to drink till I'm throwing up or urinating in the street. I mean, I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
How about this? A long-time buddy of mine, who his girlfriend made a ton of cash when they were in their early to mid-20s. They were with each other for a long, long time.
OnlyFans?
Before OnlyFans.
Okay.
So they made it a point. They love traveling the world for New Year's.
Oh, nice.
And I'm talking like this is like super young, right out of college. You're like, okay, we're going to go to Barcelona. Or we're going to go to another spot in Europe. They would travel to a different country every single year. It was a handful of years. And every single time I'm like, maybe a little bit jealous, but what are you doing? It's New Year's. Like, who cares? But he was always super like rah-rah guy. I love it. I'm changing my life. This is the year, my best year. It's like the summer of George.
Sure.
That's what they were anticipating. I'm like, okay, all right. Who am I to say, piss on your parade?
Well, it's also tough, too. I mean, if you're a sports fan, the next day is always huge. It's a monster day in college football.
Of course.
And the last thing you want to do is wake up hungover and say, "Whoa, what happened? I missed a playoff game. I missed a major bowl game, whatever."
I was out until 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right. Not to mention what that feeling is, especially when you're up there in age. You just hate yourself. It's like going to a buffet and having 5 plates. Like, why did I do that? And right? It's like, why did I drink so much and now I have a headache?
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I specifically cut out buffets for that reason. I have no willpower at buffets.
You hate yourself, yeah.
And I eat so fast. I'll have 4 plates in 10 minutes. I'm like, that was really good. And then 15 minutes later, I'm paying the price for the rest of the night. Just like, what was I doing? Mm-hmm. Why do I do that? Yeah. So I think the closer we get to game time, I have to put in that Penn State bet. The team total over.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to win a low scoring? I mean, it's going to be 27-20. I mean, that's. Did you read the Paul Bovey?
No,
that's awesome.
The New Year's resolution.
This is good. I love this because we know Clemson, Chris, and we talk to Penn State fans, and this is good to me.
If a fan says they are betting against their own team, pound them.
They know. Okay. They know. I agree with that.
Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this great property, on the program next. Oh boy, he's going to break down the final week of Survivor strategies. Who do you use, especially when the big favorites are no longer available?
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome in. Great to have you on board. Happy New Year's Eve. It's Follow the Money. We're live downtown Las Vegas from Circa Resort and Casino. What a property. What a night this is. Las Vegas, one of the most popular destinations in the world, right? Every year around this time, and the owner and CEO of this tremendous property, Derek Stevens, joins the show now. Look at this. Full-blown tux, looking as sharp as ever. How are you?
Great. Ready to go. New Year's Eve in Las Vegas. Special bucket list night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, I was watching something earlier today. In between watching Michigan upset Alabama, CNN had this show on, like all the different New Year's around the world. You know, so all the fireworks, and they kind of go to all the celebrities, and I didn't know there's 26 time zones. I didn't really realize that. There's 37 different New Year's because some of them are on like the 45 minutes. Like
sure.
I don't get that either. But anyway, there's a lot of the big ones. They had all these fireworks. It was pretty good. I would say Vegas stands pretty tall. I mean, in America, everybody talks about Times Square, but I think Vegas kind of stands up.
I think it's right 1A and 1B.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Athens was great. I thought Qatar was great. I thought what else? Hong Kong was unbelievable.
Really,
watching that one. That one might have been the best so far.
Well, Hong Kong might have the best skyline in the world.
Yeah.
That's tough to beat. You said 37 different Happy New Years because of the 45-minute increments and the 30-minute stuff.
I don't really understand how. I thought there were 24 time zones.
No, that's what I would assume.
But I guess there's something like 37 because some of them are like. There was one I watched. It was like at like 11:45 a.m. our time.
And Happy New Year.
I'm not really sure how. But they're on like the 45. I don't really understand what's going on.
I need to look into this.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by the whole thing
and
now.
Think there must be something where like at the dateline where like some countries are like this and like this or something. Yeah.
All right, more on New Year's coming up in about 10 minutes because I've been here for about a quarter century now, same as Paul. This is a first for me today. I don't recall a New Year's ever being like this in Las Vegas. I'll explain that coming up. Survivor now, as juicy as ever. We are down to 18. Every ticket, the implied value is more than $792,000 after 16 entries got whacked on the Colts. What was that, by the way, against the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, that was something. I mean, we did some filming. It was early. I haven't even filmed anything yet. And Colts are down 14-3. So the opening segment was like, wow, there's a little sweat with the number one selection in Circa Survivor in Week 17B. And then all of a sudden, like, okay, Colts are going to come back. Everything's going to get normal again. And it didn't. It was something. We had a lot of Colts Circa Survivors on property watching. They had their friends in the booths here. They were here obviously for a reason, and I met a number of them afterward. They came up to say hello and thanks for a great contest. And I always get a little leery because you never know. I mean, you get knocked out; it's so devastating. But there were a good amount of people that walked out with like bricks of cash, which kind of made sense because I knew on our dashboard, we really needed the Colts to win that game from the Circa Sports, from the house perspective. Because we took a massive amount of hedging.
I bet.
We offset some, but we couldn't offset that much. I mean, it was just like $50,000, $100,000, $50,000, $100,000, $50,000. I mean, it was a lot.
Was the hedging all Giants money line, or some maybe sprinkled in there with the points as well, or basically all money line?
There was some point spread, but mostly money line. Like the one fella that took on Thursday night, that back end of Christmas. He took, what did he have? He had the Bears +4. Is that right?
Yeah.
So he hedged money line,
scooped it,
and Bears +4, which was perfect. Because he scooped his hedges, but he stayed alive in the he scooped the point spread, but he stayed alive in the contest. So it's a perfect scenario.
Huge.
So that fella came back and he had the same situation. So. He had a split of money line and point spread.
Are people protecting themselves with the tie?
Oh, yeah, they are. I can tell you. I've had to have a meeting with Chris Bennett and Jeff Benson and Mike Palm. It's going to be a 10-minute meeting, turned into a 2-hour call the other day. Maybe you've had Mike on to talk about it, but yeah, we're trying to help the customers out here to make sure that they can protect themselves on the tie. But we've never had a situation where we've had this many people that have this much at risk. So I'm not really a big fan of going into a NFL game when we might take a $4 million hit on a tie.
Yeah, okay.
It's nice to help support, but we're taking a ton of risk on doing this.
I got you.
But yeah,
okay.
So we had a lot of discussion about that, and they've been betting the hell out of the tie.
Okay. It's incredible that favorites go 15-1.
Yeah.
But the one was a big one.
Yeah.
Especially for this contest.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
it really is amazing. Jeff Benson put something out on Twitter like how historically strong the favorites have been the last few weeks.
Yes.
We're
going back. December's been nuts.
I mean, I realize. I mean, the sportsbooks did great at the beginning of the year. Sportsbooks are not doing well here since Thanksgiving. I can tell you that.
It's the second best since 1978. They're like 74% straight up in the season.
Okay.
Well, it must have been a pretty bad weekend then, right? Even though, again, all the favorites came in, and then if you're taking all that hedging money specifically on Giants' money line,
yeah,
You guys got dinged up.
Yeah, I wish it was back to Thanksgiving. Has not been a merry holiday season at Circa Sports.
You might have to have a cocktail here pretty soon.
I'm going to have a cocktail. Cocktails set up for exactly 4:05 p.m. with a number of people. As soon as I walk out of the studio.
All right, that's awesome.
Pauly
That's
found...
why it changed. I didn't have time. After this, I'm rolling right into the festivities of the night.
What did you find this week specifically with some entries and who they cannot use?
Do I have this right? I believe 4 people do not have any of the big 3, and they have to get creative. No one has Denver. That means you have no Green Bay, no Atlanta, no Tampa Bay. I count 4 of the remaining 18 that can't use any of the big 3.
I think
that's what I read.
I did a little research, so I pulled out the availability chart. So for everybody watching, you can just go onto Circa Sports website. You can get this availability chart. It's not going to show up here on the screen, but it tells you who's got what available. So what I did was I ranked every game by point spread, straightforward by point spread. So take the Ravens, 17-point favorite. If you got Ravens, but there's no Ravens, so okay, none there. Next is going to be the Bucks. Bucks with this line, this has turned into a kind of a runaway line here. What are the Bucks up to now?
It's only 13 because Carr might play.
Yeah, so 13. It's the second strongest point spread of the day. Well, on the Bucks, there are 5 Circa Survivors with the Bucks available. So what I did on my availability chart, I marked them. Okay, I'm going to assume that those 5 take the Bucks. After that, the next highest point spread is Denver. There's no availability, so nobody's going to be on Denver. After that, there are 2 on Green Bay. So I checked off, okay, let's say the 737, Kevin and the Big House, they both have Green Bay available. They're the only 2. Let's say they take Green Bay. So that gives us 7. So I'm working my way down. After that, you've got a total of 13 of the 18 have Atlanta available. Out of those 13, the ones that didn't already take Green Bay or Tampa, 10 of them take Atlanta. Okay. So now we got 5 on Tampa, 2 on Green Bay, and 10. 8. I'm sorry, I said the wrong. 8 on Atlanta.
Okay.
8 on Atlanta. So then you got to keep going down. Well, the Chargers. Well, there's only one person with the Chargers available, but they've got Atlanta, so they would have taken Atlanta. So nobody's going to take the Chargers. Seattle. You go to Seattle. There's only one person with Seattle available. If that person is Atlanta, probably take Atlanta. So all of a sudden, it gets really squirrely at the end. So, yeah, we're going to have a number of teams selected here.
Oh, yes, you are.
Ooh.
So I don't think this is going to be a typical Week 18 where everyone makes it through. Because I think there's going to be a number of teams that are selected just based upon availability.
I think based on what you just said, I'm guessing at least 5 teams are going to be selected then.
It's
going to have to be.
It's 4 for sure, but probably 5 and maybe 6.
Maybe 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know how many people still alive will be here watching on Sunday?
I don't know exactly.
Too early in the week, maybe?
But I think I would guess probably 6 or 7. But then again, when I say there's 18 entries. I met 6 guys that, hey, I'm a 10%er, I'm a 20%er.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So guys are coming out of the woodwork, you know? I didn't know. You remember a big character from last year? L.A. Jones.
Oh, yes.
L.A. Jones. I get a text from Jeff Benson. He goes, I got this from L.A. Jones this morning. He's coming into town, wants to hedge. I go, hedge what? He goes, oh, no, he's coming in. He's partners with the partner he had last year. So he sat with us all day Sunday. He was great to hang out with.
Yeah, he had the Rams.
Yeah.
Well, how about that finish?
Yeah.
Arizona's going to win the game. The fastball to McBride, up in interception.
Many games this week. Imagine having the Broncos with the points losing. Imagine the Cardinals. What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Imagine having Atlanta in the game against Washington.
Or the under.
Like what?
Sick.
All right, we'll continue with Derek Stevens up next. Been here for a long time. I can never, ever recall this happening in Las Vegas for New Year's. I'll tell you what it is coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Happy New Year. A couple of bowl games now finishing. Illinois actually defeated South Carolina. 9-point dogs, 9.5 actually. They won that game outright. And one good performance out of the SEC as LSU leads Baylor right now 44-31. That game flew over the total. 4 or 5 minutes left to go in the game. As we continue here with the owner and CEO of Circa Resort and Casino, downtown Las Vegas, Derek Stevens. So we were talking about Survivor and then how much money each ticket is worth and how many people we're down to. Well, it's at 18 right now. Every entry is worth more than $792,000. People have been getting a hold of you guys here at the property, wiring in funds, setting themselves up. I know it was a lot of money last weekend in hedging. How much money has already been wired in for week 18?
Yeah, between front money and wires in and credit, I think we're currently over $2.2 million just for the contest, and I'm aware that we're going to have at least another $1 million coming in by Friday. So take that for what it's worth if you plan on hedging, because we're going to have to move numbers with those type of numbers. So
I would say so.
Yeah. So we should have over $3 million worth of hedge bets coming in throughout the week.
Why do you think it's so important to be a great host and open like this? Not just talking about the hedging, but I was watching Saturday night and you invited everyone who's still alive to come down in Survivor, and you invited, if you're top 30 in the millions, to come down. We
want to make sure anybody that top 30 in Circa Millions or any of the 18 in Circa Survivor, just reach out to Jeff Benson or hit me up on Twitter, and we'd love you to stay here if your schedule allows and you want to hedge. We got a whole section over here. We're going to be filming. We're going to have a ball. I assume we're going to have a lot of champagne flowing by about 1 o'clock Pacific time. More champagne flowing by about 4:30. And then we kind of go from there. This is kind of what we love about it is we get to meet all these people, and the stress and the adrenaline's unbelievable. There's nothing like watching these games when you have people with millions of dollars on the line.
Well, it's also awesome. It's nuts that you do that too. And where can you chill with a billionaire and get a drink and whatever and hang out and watch the game as well? But also, do you think the time of the games plays a factor in strategy?
I definitely think it does. I mean, I think. One thing I think we got to keep an eye on, there's a good amount of availability on Arizona.
Yes.
And Arizona might be a little bit of a wild card here because it's going to be in the late window. There's some availability there. Someone may want to watch it now that, Purdy's out and this and that.
6 and 10, yeah.
And that was a very physical and violent game last night on Monday Night Football. So maybe there's something that happens with the Cardinals. Maybe it gives you an advantage, if you go in last. At the same point, I don't think the spread's big enough, but I think we got to watch and see how this develops here in the next 24, let's say, maybe 48 hours. What if somebody decides to go Bengals early?
If Tomlin says I'm not playing people, yeah.
I mean, there's not much availability. There's two with availability on Bengals. But boy, oh boy, if you get through on Saturday,
oh God,
you could just sit back like a sniper back here, and you could take a round robin of money line parlays on everything.
Oh my
and
God,
you're sitting pretty.
Oh God, what a dream!
Now, what's the deadline to get the picks in though? If you want to use the Saturday picks, and then will people know if anybody used Cincinnati?
People know? No. It's going to be the same time. We announce them all. We announce them all the same time.
The game's at 5. The show's at 6.
Yeah. So our show, we'll announce them at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Pacific time on Saturday. So that game will be going while we're talking. But if somebody does take the Bengals, it gives them an awful lot of time Saturday night and all day Sunday morning to be able to hedge against whatever the top picks are. I mean, talk about a position you'd be in at that point in time.
Paul, imagine that. 2 o'clock Pacific time Saturday. Tomlin says, I made up my mind. We're not going to play anybody.
Yep.
And somebody's got the bang. They're like, okay, there you go. I'm playing in Cincinnati.
Sure. Same thing. How about with the millions, too? I mean, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Coming down to the wire. Always Circa Sports, and on X they tweeted everything out, but now with 5 picks left and now everyone's bunched up and the quarterly's on the line, and you pay top 100 here overall.
Top 100, yeah. So the number one team in the overall is 59, 24, and 2. So that's a total of 60 points. That's victory formation. Second place is Team BP at 59.5 points. We got 2 tied at 59. And then we've got another 5 between 58 and 57.5. So it's all bunched up. I mean, anybody in the top 8, you post a 5-0, you got a shot. Victory formation, pretty good position. I mean, obviously that's where you want to be.
Sure.
But victory formation could pull this off with a 3-2, maybe a 4-1. So they control their own destiny. This is going to be something. I would love to sit with victory formation and Team BP this weekend if they're around. So that's a call out if you want to be out here. We'll put you out.
All right, and you're going to be hanging out in your normal spot, right?
Oh yeah.
All weekend long, right
Absolutely.
there, watching games.
Yep.
If anybody wants to come here, sit next to you, get a hold of you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and if tallies are the 2 meatballs. They're at the bottom. They're in the booby price. Tallies is 25.59 and 1, and 2 meatballs is 26.58 and 1. So 59.5 and 58.5. The booby prize is slightly less good than the good side is with victory formation, but they're welcome to come along too.
All right.
And then in the quarters, we've got one. Little J is 17.2 and 1.
Come on. And
then we've got 11 people tied at 17, 3 and 0. So the quarter is just that's just wide open.
Oh, that's a huge sweat then.
Wow. Yeah, so you got 11 people that are all within a half a point. So you figure out of that 11, somebody's going to put. You post a 5 and 0, you're going to get something here. Yeah.
20,000 people next year in Survivor.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's something. It's something. I would hope so. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It is. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. So we've been in Las Vegas for a long time. I can never recall it ever being this warm for New Year's week. And I did the whole thing, walking down to the Strip several times, whenever been downtown. You always have to plan accordingly. And it was always like bitter cold, and it would cut right through your bones. You're like, are we going to do this really? It's a hoodie. It's another jacket. You got to wear gloves. It might dip into the 30s. It's been awesome in Las Vegas this week. Am I wrong? I don't recall it ever being this nice for New Year's Eve.
Not only are you right, I could factually back you up. Remember when I opened this little bar at the Golden Gate, this frozen drink bar out there? Well, some days the sales were high, some days they were low, and everybody wondered what was going on. Oh, I better start tracking the high and low temperature. I've tracked the high and low temperature every day in Las Vegas since 2008.
Get out of here.
And you are correct. In the month of December, we've never had a month of December as warm as this is. This is the warmest December ever. It's been unbelievable. As a matter of fact, we will close out today, 31. There are 29 days in the month of December that are above normal. There's only 2 below normal. It's unbelievable. It's a streak as unbelievable as these favorites winning in December. It's crazy.
You could be a meteorologist here.
It's unbelievable. But I didn't mean to get it. I thought I was getting the casino business. I'm in kind of a seasonal business. I never wanted to buy a ski lodge because what if it doesn't snow? You're screwed, right? So here, I got these frozen drinks and now stadium swim. Now I'm more worried about whether it's windy or cold than I ever have been in my life. But you are absolutely right, Mitch.
All right. Okay, I felt like that. Was the case. So I'm glad that somebody here definitely has the facts to back it up. How worried are you, or how good do you feel about your Lions moving forward with the defense?
Well, I thought yesterday, they fought back. They got down pretty good early. I know there's a lot of controversy about you going to sit guys, but there's a lot of comments that Belichick made comments in the past. Harbaugh's made comments. Dan Campbell made comments. Well, okay, who are you going to sit? You can't sit everybody. Yeah. So they just did their thing. I think the Lions are in as good a shape as they've ever been in, and I think Sunday night is going to be unbelievable for the NFL. It's going to be unbelievable in here. Yeah. I can't wait. But no, I think the Lions are in good shape. And if they have to, whether it's Minnesota or Detroit, I don't think anybody wants to be the 4 seed.
And what are the Rams doing? The Rams should need to win this game.
That's what I thought.
I don't get what McVay's doing. I don't know. By the way, CircaLasVegas.com, hanging out the Legacy Club, get a room, best shower of your life. Come on down, berries, whatever you got.
I stick by that.
Oh, come on, right? Mm-hmm. Serious pressure comes bam right at you.
Temperature never changes.
Oh, so
right?
good.
You can set it wherever you want it. Yeah. It's perfect.
Goes to Circa Golden Gate as well. The best, the suite at Golden Gate. Oh man.
Here's what I can't believe, Derek. 14-3 will not win that division.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What?
Make a call. Tinker with the system. Can you call Goodell? Say, come on, you can't be a 5 seed if you win 14 games. Come on.
Well, it's going to be something like I said. Nobody wants to be the 4 anymore.
That was an A-plus appearance. Yeah. You look better than you actually just sounded, by the way. So have a night tonight, okay? Enjoy it.
Happy New Year.
There you go. Happy New Year, everybody.